Hey guys, about to go live here with the Pridemore team in Charlotte. So here in Chicago at the office, we brought back some goodies. We are looking at a little bit of pulled pork, some brisket, and some pork belly. You're going to definitely want to check Green Street Smoked Meats out if you are in Chicago and in the mood for some barbecue. I think it's personally Texas-style barbecue, but we're going to talk about it. So this is our Compass office, and it's a great space. And I am actually going to go live here in the conference room, and we're going to have some fun. So if you had a chance at all to check out my Instagram posts earlier, or stories and reels, you saw that I had actually had some great barbecue earlier, and so here we are. So after any good barbecue, you probably need a little bit of water, maybe even a breath mint, so just FYI. And here we go.
Oh man, it is.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Joe, look who it is.
Oh, Scott, hello. Good to see you. I like you guys representing. So, boy, you know, I got to tell you, I don't know if barbecue's better on a Friday afternoon than any other day during the week, but it is really nice getting some good barbecue on a Friday. Kicking back, having a nice cold beverage. No beer here. I'm sticking with a little bit of water. But by the way, special shout out and maybe a little sponsorship from LaCroix. What about you guys?
We're doing great, Joe. We're here at Matt's Speed Shop, one of our favorite spots in Charlotte. It's a little noisy because this spot is very special. It's we're gonna give you the grand tour real quick. I'm gonna stand up, give you the 360, right? Just because you got to be in the place. Here we go.
Let's do it.
There's hold on. There's all the trophies, Joe. Hold on.
I see those.
I just wanted to make sure you knew that those were there.
I see a lot of hardware there. All right. Okay.
Mention the trophies. Hold on. Did you mention the trophies?
Okay. All right. You know, I got to tell you too. I like when you can see in the joint they've got the whole pig dissected there. You know, the parts of the pig, so you know they get down to brass tacks. They know exactly what they specialize in, and they are going to show it and showcase it. So I'm guessing you guys went a little heavy in the pork.
We went the beef route. We went the beef route today.
All right.
Not much pork, but I'll tell you this. This is our favorite. You know, our favorite here is the beef brisket and the half rack of ribs. Yeah, Scott's like.
I think Scott's like, enough talking. I got to eat.
I can't hear, but it's really loud.
It's loud here,
That's also
man.
part of like what it's like. It's more of an experience. The food is fantastic, but coming here to Mac's Speed Shop, and there are so many great spots in Carolina. Let's face it, Carolina and barbecue kind of hand in hand, right? So when I think of Chicago, I think of deep dish pizza.
I know you do. I know you do. So listen. So I got a few questions from the chat so far, anybody who's watching, certainly feel free to type in whatever questions, comments you have or would like to hear us respond to, not just barbecue related, real estate, anything. But so I think the first thing we need to do is we need to explain the difference between Carolina barbecue and other types of barbecue, because Carolina is known for a particular type of barbecue, and I figure two local Carolinians can probably tell us a little bit more about, is it more pork centered, beef centered, sauce, not sauce style? What does that mean to you guys?
Well, that's a great question. I'll start it off, at least the limited knowledge that I have of barbecue. So more than anything in North Carolina, people go with either a vinegar base or a barbecue sauce base. And it really, the state in North Carolina is kind of divided. The eastern side of North Carolina tend to favor more of a vinegar base, and then the western side of North Carolina is more of like a sauce base.
Okay.
And it happens to be, we get a lot of people relocating to North Carolina from other areas of the country, so they kind of bring their own flavor or their own taste for various types of barbecue. And I have a lot of clients that are born in North Carolina, and they've sort of converted over to more of a brisket, which is kind of Kansas City brisket. You have Texas brisket, and I know in the Midwest generally, I'm interested to hear what the favorite up in Chicago. So for what we're having today, more sauce based, and in this case beef. But there's no question, there's a huge audience for the pork or the pork barbecue vinegar or sauce base. Mike, you have anything you want to add on the barbecue description?
I'm sorry. I was very much so sorry about that.
Take your time.
Yeah, so North Carolina barbecue, there's obviously pulled pork. There's a million different ways to rotisserize it and slow smoke it and over time enjoy it and savor it. I think of Carolina barbecue as a lot of different types. A lot of times there's different ways to prepare it and certainly enjoy it. Like this is a South Carolina mustard. We're not going to include that because we're in North Carolina.
That's right. Big difference.
To the side, but we are going to include a more of a vinegar base, I would say, Carolina barbecue sauce.
Okay.
This is kind of a favorite.
This is more like Western Carolina.
And this is more like Western Carolina. You can see it's a little chunkier, a little saucier.
Yeah.
So a lot of this that's cooked with it, you can tell the difference based on how light the sauce is. So how about you, Joe? What's up in Chicago? How's the barbecue prepared there? Let's turn this around and hear from here.
Yeah, right. Look, I'll be the first to admit, walking into this competition, I knew I was an underdog. I knew, Chicago doesn't have a signature Chicago style, barbecue sauce, right? We're not St. Louis with the spare ribs and everything else. But what I'll tell you is Chicago does a great job of taking all types of barbecue and offering, versatile, diverse tastes and styles, So, we get some fusion here. We get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So in Chicago, I had several areas I looked at before I selected on the place I went to. And the place we ended up getting the barbecue from is a place called Green Street Smoked Meats. Great barbecue place. It's located in the West Loop, hottest neighborhood in Chicago. And a cool place. It's tucked away in an alley. It's kind of a cool little hole in the wall. And you walk in, and it's exactly what you want in a barbecue place. Line, you just wait, you go up to the counter, you order, and they just serve what's left. Things run out. And so for me, the Green Street is a Texas-style barbecue. It's going to be a little more rub-oriented. Not as saucy. They do offer sauce, but it's intended to be, just a simple salt and pepper kind of rub like you'd expect down in like an Austin, for example. They're not huge on smoking with certain woods like apple wood, pecan wood, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I mean, there's some great choices. I considered going to a place called Smoke. A lot of times, Smoke is seen as nationally and recognized with awards for their barbecue. Great place, a little saucier. I also was wearing nice clothes. Didn't want to get too dirty in them because I'm a man who eats with my fingers. I just want to be upfront with you. So I'm gonna get down and dirty when it comes to eating my barbecue. And then there were a few other places that the audience had mentioned to us as well. Looking good, man. Looks good. And so ultimately, with Chicago being such a big city, we had South Side, West Side, North Side options. And so I landed right in the middle, and that's where I went from there. And that looks good, but I'm going to tell you, and anybody who's watching this, when you get a minute, go check out my Instagram stories at Joe Kotoch, Kotoch, or Windy City Agents. Our team account should be pushing out everything as well, and you'll see the pictures, you'll see the video. It was pretty awesome in there. And I'm not going to lie, we did I got about $100 and some worth of barbecue, so I didn't walk away empty-handed. I fed the office, I fed my family, I fed a lot of people today barbecue because I got to create that goodwill. But the thing I didn't see there, unless I missed it, I went with a beef rib. So I went with that big old beef rib, and I got to tell you, I love those beef ribs. When you get a chance to get those, where it's one rib and it's just a huge hunk of meat on it, so good. Got some pulled pork, got some pork belly, got some sliced brisket. We got a sandwich. It's called a Thunderbird with chopped brisket and some pulled pork with spicy pickles on a brioche bun. All good stuff there.
Did you say spicy?
What's that?
Did you say spicy pickles?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's good. And then we even got some of the sides. So we got some potato salad, beans, and coleslaw. So kind of doing it all right. And Green Street on the inside looks an awful lot like this place that you guys are at. Dark on the inside, kind of noisy with the music, and a bunch of cheap beers, but every one of them tastes unbelievably great with their barbecue. So I dabble, again, where I lean in my style. I usually go with Lone Star, a nice light Texas beer, kind of watery, to push it all down. So
we have IPAs. We're in a lot of breweries, so there's a lot of different IPAs. Or Old Mecklenburg Brew is nearby. They've got all of that on tap as well. And I have to tell you, Joe, I didn't want to let out the cat of the bag, but I get a little something extra. At the end, we're gonna wait for that. But,
okay.
I also feel like we should show the good people maybe just like one savory bite. So I feel like we gotta do it, Joe. We gotta show.
Hey, look, I'm all for it, guys. I don't, guys with barbecue, anybody watching it for that matter, you get this great barbecue, you start eating it. Once you've had it, you're kind of done. You're ready for the count. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna let you guys jump in on it. Take a good bite for the audience.
You gotta zoom in here. You gotta zoom in. Oh man, take a look at that.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, the color on that is perfect.
We're gonna get one more. I'm gonna get deep in there. I want that savory meat, the one that's falling off the bone. A little bit of sauce here.
Okay. Now, Scott, I'm going to tell you, could you imagine, I could easily see Mike come in tomorrow and be like, look, I'm giving up the real estate game. I found my true passion in life. I'm going to just eat barbecue on Instagram, and I'm going to get paid for it.
On the road.
That's right.
Yeah. Look out, Guy Fieri.
That's right. We could even do the frosted tips, man. We could, spike that up on the top. I mean, it could work.
This guy
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Got to throw those Ray-Bans on the back, of your head. Oh yeah, all that good stuff. So, anyways, guys. So with the barbecue stuff, a couple other questions I got, and it looks like I know the answer from what I saw you eat there, Mike, but what's your go-to meat when you have barbecue? Somebody asked what we prefer. So I'm going to let you guys answer that before I do.
And sorry, obviously a little loud. We picked a little more noisy spot. Was it what type of bun?
What type of meat do you like?
Oh,
what's the best meat you get? Yeah.
For me, I think it really is like smoked. It's really like a smoked brisket. That's probably what gets my favorite. I'd say a close second would be either pulled pork or pulled beef.
Yep.
That's slow roasted over 24 hours and marinated. Typically like a hickory smoked wood chip. It really just falls off the bone, and it melts in your mouth. No doubt about it. Oh, and hold on, before we get there too far, let me show that rib.
Oh yeah.
I want to know what the good people think that are watching.
Oh my!
Do you think that tastes delicious?
I mean, first of all, those ribs look like they're as big as Scott's hands. So, I mean, and for those of you that can't tell from context, Scott's got hands like catcher's mitts. So those are huge, huge ribs.
How is it, man? How is it? We got to get
Really good.
It's savory.
Really good. Yeah, excellent.
Savory. Yeah. The ribs here are good.
Yeah. So for me, just to answer that question, I'm a rib guy through and through. I actually prefer ribs to brisket. I think brisket's a great thing. I don't usually have the time or the patience to do brisket at home or the means to make it as good as I can get it from somewhere. So I'll try my hand at ribs at home. I like ribs, and I particularly love a good pork rib. But every so often, the treat of a beef rib is solid. All right, so here's another question for you. So somebody said from the comments yesterday on Instagram when we were getting some suggestions, best barbecue are always no-name places. I think what they're referencing are basically, and I know this is very prevalent in the South, is you get to these basically like shacks along like the road, side of the road sort of stuff. Do you guys have those in, and by the way, they don't live in the middle of nowhere in the South, guys, just so we know. They're in Charlotte, so it's a big city. But I'm sure you guys have seen those or come across those. What's your impression of those places?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the ones that are hole in the wall type of places for sure rank a little higher, like we're just popping in terms of every place has their own spin on barbecue. That's what I love about that, about the dish. And it's the seasoning, the smoke, the way that they prepare it, the sauce is different. There's a great place in the north. I'm up by Lake Norman called Lancaster's Barbecue, and not a lot of people know about it. But to the point, it's their vinegar base is won like statewide awards. It's not as in a cool of an area. In fact, we honestly never was even there. But I mean, it's phenomenal. So I would say I'm a fan when you can find that's a place that's been around. In fact, stay tuned because we are in the city limits of Charlotte. Scott, you want to mention about what we're going to be doing? You're coming soon?
Yeah, so Mike's laughing over there. So, we're actually going to be getting the team together to do a lunch bunch on Fridays. We're going to pick a local restaurant that's been around a long time, kind of like the OG of restaurants. They've been around. They've survived many, many years being in business. And furthermore, they've come out of the other side of COVID, and they're still in business and operating. And these are institutions that, once again, great food, local owned. And we're going to go and, as a group and go and have lunch at various places. We're going to profile the restaurant on social just to get the word out to help them more. But it also allows us an opportunity to get together with the team and break bread and really connect. So we're, on many levels, we look at this as a great opportunity, to once again eat good food around people, support solid businesses.
Well, that sounds like so much fun, and I know you guys have a great team in Charlotte, and it's one of the best teams you can find in not just Charlotte or North Carolina, but all along the East Coast. And
thank you.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not making this stuff up, guys. Anybody watching, you know, the nice thing about real estate is you can actually check a lot of this. You can look on Zillow, you can follow sales, you can look at accolades, and you can follow that stuff to know this isn't just, you know, me blowing smoke. I mean, these guys are the #1 team in North Carolina for Compass, and, you know, they are awesome. I mean, and they're recognized not just in North Carolina, but nationally. So great group, and certainly just a quick real estate plug, part of my real estate referral network that I send opportunities out to when people need help, you know, in the Charlotte area. So, you know, definitely feel free to reach out to me if you need a connection or an introduction. I'm happy to do it. You know, I gotta say, you know, this is the second week in a row we've done an Instagram Live. I'm really, you know, loving these. I hope you guys are too. And I'm feeling like maybe we can start making this a routine. I mean, look, I'm always one to bite the bullet and take one for the team, and I'm always happy to eat out somewhere. So, I mean, maybe we can make this like Compass Eats or something.
Compass Eats.
Compass Eats, and, you know, it can be, you know, us trying the same type of food in different places.
That's a great idea. And,
yeah.
You know, I feel the need at this moment to open the bag. I'm curious if the audience wants to chime in, if we should open the bag.
Does anybody have any guesses what might be in there?
Did someone put gator bites? No, we don't.
Gator bites. Yeah. Some jerky. Let's see. What else?
Beef jerky? No beef jerky. All right, I'm going to open it, Joe. I'm going to open it because this right here, it may be small, but it's very mighty. It may be small, but it's very mighty. This right here, Joe, with the sauce included,
okay,
is the award-winning barbecue of North Carolina.
Oh my God! Open the bag, says Juan.
So can we get a zoom in right here? Let's get a little bit of.
Okay, it looks like pulled pork.
It is pulled pork.
A from Miami. Now, Juan, I'm guessing in Miami you don't get barbecue quite like in Carolina or Chicago, but I could be wrong.
Take a bite. Take a bite? All right. Then go for it. Man.
Well,
That is beeping delicious.
You know the saying, a picture tells 1,000 tales, right? You know, I think we can see directly from what your face says. That was pretty awesome. And you know, to Juan in Miami, look, you know, I know Miami's got great Cuban food. I know it's got great, you know, cuisine down there. You know, give us some ideas. You know, maybe we'll even have you on sometime.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's some great food down in Miami.
Yeah.
She's from Miami, from the 786, and we cook a lot of Cuban food at the house. So, you know, but there's an element of like being in Miami, the fresh plantains and all the food. Oh man. Oh, Juan, you got pasaditos, man. You're talking my language right now.
All right, so look, sorry to be that guy right here. Can somebody define what pastelitos are, please?
Juan, do you want to jump in and explain pastelitos? It means like a little pastry. There's, I mean, guayaba and cheese to.
Okay.
Oh my, so many. They're the way they make them, Joe. No kidding. I know we're talking barbecue. It's actually hard for me to shift in my mind from savory North Carolina award-winning barbecue. Did I mention award-winning? Hold on.
You did. You're showing that hardware.
Oh, I did. Okay. All right.
You're really playing to the audience. You know, riding that momentum.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Cuban pastries. There we go. Yeah, it's so good, man. They're so delicious. They're extremely savory. They're not like really buttery. They're more flaky. And with the cheese and the guayaba, if it's like fresh, it's just it melts instantly in your mouth. It's delicious. So
Well,
very good.
I gotta say that looks awesome. Hi Silvano as well. Thanks for jumping in here. So look, I gotta tell you guys. I mean, this I feel like, look, whether you're a foodie or not, we all enjoy good stuff, and we all come from different areas, different backgrounds, different cultures, and so we all appreciate certain things. And if this is a way where we can learn about other types of food, other types of cuisine, or hidden gems. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, leading up to this week, doing my Rocky workout, training montage, practicing, ripping the gnawing off the meat off a bone. I came across rib tips, and I learned about a couple other restaurants in the Chicago area that I did not know that have award-winning barbecue and are great places. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys, in talking about this on social media, did the same thing. And so, I think this is kind of a cool way to showcase not just your city, Charlotte, and my city, Chicago, but to also showcase, culture and foods and other things of importance. Like you mentioned with your wife's background. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually Lebanese in ancestry, so I love good Middle Eastern food. But again, you're in a city like Chicago. You have tacos, pizza, hot dogs, of course, steaks, and all sorts of great food choices there as well. Let's see, part of our thank you when we help your clients. Anytime, man, anytime, Juan. Hi. Parrish as well. Thanks for jumping in here. So, I guess let's talk just for a minute, because we want to focus obviously on food. Today's focus is Foodie Friday, we'll call it. So
I like that.
Yeah, there we go. We're not much of foodies, at least I don't think. But anyways, so what's the market look like in Charlotte after this last month now? Here we saw October come to a close. Any news there on your end?
Yeah, absolutely. So we get this question a lot. So it's really easy to answer that question. So we're definitely in an inventory-starved marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we're seeing more inventory to come on the market. Certainly more than we've seen throughout the summer, which is great. We still have probably 10 buyers for every home. The better homes and the better communities that have the most amenities, that are in the best condition, and are the best priced are definitely the ones that will transact most expeditiously.
Yeah.
I mean, I would tell you, on average for those communities where, the home and the area, you check all the boxes, those are transacting anywhere from 3 to 6 days. Some of them, obviously, a lot of them within 24 hours. But if I'm taking the market as a whole, and then you have another 30% of the marketplace that will transact within 2, maybe 4 weeks, and then maybe you have that last remaining 35% of the marketplace where maybe they've started the price a little too aggressive. They're hoping to be opportunistic to, get even more than what they might be able to justify in the marketplace. And, in some cases, they might still be getting much more than they had ever hoped for, but maybe a little less than what they listed for. And, but yet still transacting after that 30 or 45-day period. But yeah, I'd say the bulk of the market, we're inside a week on days on the market for the better homes and the better communities.
It's so funny you say that, because I was just talking about this in the last week or so with a couple groups. I was talking with some buyers, I was talking with some sellers on some listing appointments, and some other agents, all about the same thing. And it's funny how a lot of top producers think the same, but this is not just an inventory issue. This is a relationship issue, I feel like, because what people don't realize is representation matters. And when you work with somebody, whether it's on the buy side, the sell side, I always laugh when I hear somebody say, well, hi, Jesse. When I hear somebody say, well, what's your commission? When you're asking me what my commission rate is that's one of your first questions, you're already making a mistake because you're boiling it down to dollars and cents, and you haven't even heard about the value that I bring to the table. And what people have to understand in this market, it's about navigating through deals. I'm sure you guys saw it. We had record numbers of deals, days on market, how quickly things were selling for prices, etc. But we also saw a lot of volatility this year, right? We saw a lot of deals. Somebody just was like, I'll give you whatever you want just so I can get to an inspection and then decide if I want to keep it or not and then move on from a deal, right? And so what you need to understand is having the right agent can help you understand who the right buyer is. Because at the end of the day, if you're having 8 to 10 offers, $1,000 here or there, not a big deal. You want something that's going to close. You want a solid buyer with a good, experienced agent that knows how to get things done and is going to work to get a deal done. And that, to me, goes to relationships, because when you have an experienced agent that knows who the best agents to work with are, that's worth something. When you work with a buyer's agent, it needs to be about an agent that knows how to find you off-market property. In this market, when you're seeing buyers say, I'm competing with 8 to 10 other people when it comes to writing offers. I mean, how many times have we had multiple offers this year? I would say more times than not, right?
For sure.
How can you not say, I need that agent, Scott Pridemore, Joe Kotoch, Mike, whoever, who's going to go out there and create inventory. Clear tip to any other agents out there who are hustlers, who are grinders. You know what I do? I'll call an expired or a canceled listing. Even if they don't want to list with me, I'm calling to see if they're still willing to sell, if I can bring my buyers through. Because, look, sorry, full disclosure, I can't track every property on the real estate market. I'm sorry, I don't have enough time or bandwidth to do it. But when I get that notification that such and such property just came off the market and I cross-check it with my pool of buyers, hundreds of people in my database that are currently actively looking, well, shoot, I might have a fit for you. And if I can get you a buyer, all the better. And that's, again, thinking outside the box. And that's where representation, I think, matters. Are you guys seeing that sort of stuff too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the reality is we operate at the front of the market. So what that really means is we really take it upon ourselves to work with people who appreciate our value and want something more than just somebody to take an order. The reality is there's a reason we are successful, because we've helped a lot of people through the years meet their goals, and that is our primary objective. And in an inventory market, identifying property may not be on the market. Certainly, with us both being at Compass, we have a tremendous opportunity to present properties to our clients that are otherwise not on the marketplace, not in the marketplace, not in the MLS. And so utilizing the Compass private exclusive is huge. It's just another layer of adding value. We also add value through Compass Concierge, another fantastic program. Once again, to take some of the pain points out of the process for a home buyer.
Yep.
We have the bridge loan program, which is exclusive to Compass. So our whole idea of servicing our clients, it's all around add more value. How do you take pain points away?
Yep.
And certainly, just like you, we have thousands of people in our database, having been in the business for many, many years. We have a lot of people that we've helped through the years that we could just, if there's a particular neighborhood where our clients want to live, we could, at any given moment, between Mike and myself, our team members, we probably have 6 or 7 homeowners in these given communities that we can just call or text directly to say, listen, I know you weren't considering selling, but if you know anyone who may, we have a buyer that's just dying to get it. And we've been able to turn over opportunities through strategies like that. And
well, it's no stone unturned. It's going above and beyond. I mean, look, in today's market, you can look at Zillow and Redfin and other places, and find property. I mean, if all you're doing when you work with a buyer is simply setting them up on a search, I mean, you're no different than any of those companies.
Yeah.
You have to show your value, and you have to demonstrate it by doing those things that go above and beyond. And that's, again, I think the best thing I've heard from Chirag Shah and, you know, some other great coaches out there is when you aren't getting through to your client, that's a communication breakdown on you. That's you not doing your job of explaining your value to someone else.
Yeah.
And if they don't understand it, you can't blame them. Again, what do we know? Right now, I could fall out of bed and I could find 30 realtors to sell my home. What differentiates you from those 30 people? If I want to buy a property, I can go on Zillow or Redfin and get connected with any number of agents, or I can search Charlotte or Chicago realtors and find a list of however long I need to of agents. What do you do to differentiate yourself, and what value do you offer? And it needs to be more than just simply, well, I'm going to try harder. You've got to show through your experience, through your relentless, tenacious efforts of doing things. Like I explain to people, I'm going to call people who were selling, took it off the market. I'm going to call them for you to see if they'll sell to you. How many other agents are going to do that for you? Probably not many. I'm going to send out a flyer in a geographic area around what you're looking for. And in 2 to 3 weeks, I'll hopefully hear back from people to see if I can find stuff for you. How many other agents are going to spend money?
Yeah. Joe, it's just a matter of doing whatever it takes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Here, and I'm sure you can. It take forever for you to go down the list of how you do turn over every stone.
Yeah.
So one thing that we discussed at a conference, just last month actually, was we're in a really service crisis in this country, and for people that are willing to lean into customer service, really be an advocate, and go above and beyond, like it sounds that you do, or well, I know that you do for your clients. Those people, the world is their oyster. The reality is there are too many folks in our industry that are taking the back seat. They're being reactionary. They're not being proactive, and that's what makes the difference for those that will see longevity. We realize that in not just in real estate, in any business.
Yep.
Yeah. Mike, do you have something you want to add on that? I know you do.
I just want to see Joe's face again. I want to see Joe's face again. Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen, one final real estate question, then we're going to get back on to the barbecue here real quick. What is your takeaway of Zillow? What a week, or what a bad week Zillow has had, right? What's your takeaway there, guys?
I'll go with
that. Yeah. Oh. Joe, I'll tell you what's going to happen, okay? They're going to realize their customer is the real estate agent.
Yep.
They're going to go all in with really trying to be a friend of the realtor instead of going the other way.
Yep.
Mark Word.
I think that's brilliant.
Real estate transaction is too complex to transact with a click of a button.
Yep.
Now, there are ways for us to automate certain aspects of the transaction, but from end to end, it still requires a human being pulling the levers and communicating and being a fiduciary. It's not going to end anytime soon, and I think they're starting to realize that.
You know what, Scott? I think you're so spot on there. It's look, there's certain things that can be automated, that you can replace humans with, and that you can get better results. This is not one of them, because ultimately we learned Zillow was using guessing to figure out their estimates, which we already knew, because you can't see the disparities that people were seeing. So from my standpoint, understanding that we serve a functional role again, and this is a people business, because at the end of the day, when somebody says, I want to spend 6 or 7 figures on a property, boy, I know they want to hear a person's voice, and they want to see a face when it comes down to accountability on those things. They don't want to be dealing with a 1-800 number and some call center trying to find out what's going on with deals like that. Mike, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say I totally agree, Joe, and I totally agree with Scott as well. And I think they tried it, they failed, and they pulled back. And when the market is frothy, even a turkey can fly in a hurricane. So, you know, it's like at some point, you know, to flip houses on scale or at scale, I just didn't think there was enough, like, they were failing, like, horribly at it. And to sell the amount of inventory that they're going to be selling in a loft, I mean, that's kind of proof in the pudding right there. Yeah.
No, I think that's spot on. And, you know, I've had a lot of people reach out in my network asking, you know, how they can get some of these homes that Zillow is unloading at discounts. And, you know, look, I think you have to reach out to, you know, Scott and Mike. You need to reach out to me, and we can help you find those properties. But the reality is there's opportunity. I mean, even if you don't want to buy a house right now, buying Zillow stock, good time to buy it. It took a huge hit. And look, Zillow's not going anywhere. I mean, you heard Scott say it. It's still going to serve a purpose. They're still going to generate money off of agents because they're connecting the agent to the buyer, and that's a value that people will pay for. But the reality is that, you know, they are a point of contact on a website where people like to go because their technology speaks to the consumer, and that is a value that drives people there. The reality is you can't select your agent or be connected to an agent through there and just immediately assume you're going to get great results. That's why you still have to talk to agents. But I think that's the case in point there.
Yeah. And this is on a lot of people's mind, you know, what's happening with Zillow and, you know, why they shut that down. And, I mean, the bottom line is they had too much red ink. I mean, that's why they shut it down. And the percentage just didn't make sense to keep going. And the truth is, out of all of the technology companies out there, Zillow really honestly included, that tries to take the agent out of the center of the transaction.
Yep.
That's why we honestly partnered. Prior to May, there was not a Compass in Charlotte, a presence, and we felt strongly out of the one company we could align with that had the vision of where things are heading.
Yep.
Compass knew and knows and is in that inner fold and is building the entire infrastructure for us as agents, keeping us at the center of the transaction.
Yep. I think that's spot on. And you know, all right, we're going to shift away from real estate because this is really about food today. So listen, guys, I've had a blast doing this, and I think we should keep doing this. So, you know, where do we go next? What do we sample next?
Scott, what do you think?
You know what? Since Joe let us win the barbecue, so maybe we'll go with pizza next time and like give him something to.
All right.
I mean, you know what?
Hey, John Shaw says Charlotte barbecue. By the way, we'll get to the winner in this in a second. But some pizza next week, I could get down with that. So
it's fantastic. We appreciate you taking the time to arrange this. We look forward to doing it again and to throw out. Yeah, I mean, we got some really good pizza spots around Charlotte too. So maybe sort of throw that up for the next.
Well, like I said, it's just like with Vegas with lines. We're trying to figure out who's the favorite today. But we'll see it. Come next Friday, who brings it. But here's how I think we settle who wins. Because I think as good as your stuff looks, guys, I still think Chicago was really good. I thought Green Street was great. But I said let's let the audience decide. Not just today. Let's post on your guys' Instagram and on our Instagram, and let's see. We're gonna do a poll, okay? Chicago versus Charlotte. All right. We're gonna add up the totals, and we're gonna determine who wins. And I'm gonna raise the stakes. I don't care who you vote for, but as long as you vote, because look, this was election week. It's a democracy. We want people voting, right? I'm gonna give a $50 gift card to Green Street Smoked Meats to anybody who votes, regardless of who you vote for. You vote I'm gonna pick a lucky winner, and you're gonna get a $50 gift card.
Wow. And you know what, Joe? That is awesome. I'll tell you this. We're going to also do that for Mac's Speed Shop here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, we're so thankful that we could do this, Joe. We think the world of you, and we're so excited that we're part of the same coaching network, the same company, and align on all levels, all cylinders. And I have to tell you that you're our go-to guy in Chicago. Windy City agents, Joe Kotoch and the team are phenomenal. I mean that personally as well as professionally, and we're just excited to be in your company. So just wanted to put that out there for those that haven't heard us say it. We're going to say it 1,000 times over. Thank you, Joe Kotoch. You were the man.
Oh, see, I wish I could go back. I'm going to edit up that clip, and I'm just going to keep "Thank you, Joe Kotoch." I'm gonna use that on like a YouTube ad or something. So, so yeah. But no. Listen, I think this is why we're doing this, and we're having fun and all this other stuff. And you know, for everybody watching, your participation fuels us too. I mean, you know, the more comments we get, the more people that watch this, the more people that, you know, share their thoughts, like things, comment. You know, the more we love doing this, because it shows us that people are enjoying it. So, you know, by all means, engage with us. Let us know where you think we should go, what we think we should try, and we'll go from there. You know, I say let's wait until the end of the night, see what everybody comes back at. But if you guys are good, tentatively we'll say pizza. But let's see if we get a bunch of people saying something else, and we'll try it out and shoot for next Friday.
Absolutely. Good deal.
All right.
Joe, thank you, sir.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.